Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Vicky. If you are new here, welcome and thank you for tuning in today. Today we are in a four-part series. Is it four-part or five-part? I think a four-part series of really mastering our mindset. Hi, Driver. My cat just jumped up in my lap. Kind of just lost my train of thought because of my cat. But I'm just excited to bring this to you. As you can see, I am getting ready for the day. It's quite early in the morning. It's been a busy week. So I'm just gonna get ready as I just talk about this next subject of addressing our self-limiting beliefs. So hopefully you'll stick around. You'll like and subscribe to the channel just by clicking that little bell notification to get all notifications, and we'll go ahead and jump in to today's topic. And really honestly I guess the reason why you'll want to subscribe is just because I love to bring content to all entrepreneurs and network marketers, really about branding yourself on social media, but my big caveat is doing it in the most authentic way possible. So let's go ahead and dive into today's subject. Let's go ahead and dive into today's subject. So, like I had already mentioned, today's subject is talking about really addressing our self-limitations. And first, I want to just make a disclaimer. I am not a therapist, a psychologist by any means. I do highly recommend seeking professional help should you need one. I do find that they are so beneficial. There have been times that, you know, I have and those in my family have had to. So yes, I do believe that that is something that is extremely beneficial. So, you know, if it's something that you cannot handle on your own, do definitely seek outside help. I have mentioned in the past that I do struggle with mental health, depression and anxiety, and I can't handle it all on my own, and that's okay. So yes, if you can't, then that's okay. You know, seek outside help. But when I'm talking about self-limiting beliefs today, I'm talking about things that might be holding us back in life and in business. So that's the kind of things that I am wanting to address today. And so when I'm talking about it, I am talking about the assumptions or perceptions that we've got about ourselves. And I'm just reading a definition about ourselves and about the way that the world works. And these assumptions are self-limiting. And because of the ways that we are thinking, or these assumptions that we're thinking about ourselves, they're holding us back from achieving that ultimate success in our lives or in our business. So these beliefs are just things that we are telling ourselves, and it could be something like we aren't good enough, or we aren't able to achieve that, we aren't able to get to that. Maybe we're holding ourselves to a standard that we just don't think that we're capable of doing, or maybe we have somebody that we are looking up to or aspiring to be like, but we just don't see ourselves being able to get to that position. So those are types of self-limiting beliefs. For instance, let's just say for me, I have these mentors that I look up to, and they're you know, 6-7 figure earners, either in my network marketing company or just other mentors that I watch personally. And I'm, you know, there's times where I'm like, there's no way, I am just never gonna be able to get to that point in my life. And that is me limiting myself. And I had to really sit there and address that. And I had to I had to take time with this exercise, because that holds me back so much. It's that self-confidence, that lack of self-confidence in myself, and myself limiting myself from what I could ultimately truly achieve. And until I addressed that, I wasn't going to go anywhere. I would, instead of actually working on my business, I would sit on the couch, because I was like, nobody listens to me. Nobody would actually pay attention to what I had to say on social media. So I was already like counting myself out of the game and instead of working my business or just consistently trying. And what I've come to find out is that once I started to actually pay attention and work on my self-limiting beliefs, instead of saying I can't or nobody's paying attention, I'm just saying, you know what? I've got something to say and people are paying attention. Or who cares if nobody's paying attention? I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm doing it and people are paying attention and people do care. And it's such a great feeling. So it's just practicing that, getting out of your head. Because once you do start doing that and you do start getting that positive feedback and reinforcement, oh my gosh, it's such a great feeling. And one thing that I wanted to talk about, I have 6 things that can help us master our mindset, help us address our self-limitations, and even master our manifestations. And I know we have not addressed our manifestations yet. That's actually going to be in next week's video. But I still felt like, since we talked about mindset and the 2 different types of mindsets last week, if you didn't catch that video, I will put a little thing up top here just so that you can watch that one after this video. And then next week, definitely catch the Mastering Your Manifestations. But since we're talking about self-limitations today, I just thought it would be good to bring this up. So the 6 things that can help us with mastering our mindsets, self-limitations, and manifestations. One of the thing, number 1 is thoughts create our happiness. Have you ever thought to yourself, just a memory, there's a time where something in the past that was funny, or maybe your kid did something or said something and it just brought a smile to your face because it was just a funny situation or a funny time. That is a thought that had brought you happiness, and that was something that was in the past that just brought you, some happiness. So that is an example of how our thoughts can create happiness. Number 2, visualizations create our future. I know a lot of these big top names in not just network marketing, but big CEOs of some of these big companies truly believe in creating vision boards or vision videos. If you've not heard of that, I'm trying to think if there's anybody who's like really big into that. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now, but they're really big into creating vision boards, because if you can visualize your future, your dreams, those big things that you want in life, you start to, and this is where mastering your manifestations come in, you will start to aspire to be there, and you will work as hard as you can to get to where you truly want to be. So creating those vision boards, those mission statements or why statements, like why are you working to where, what is it that's pushing you to work or do the things that you are doing. So create a vision board, or create whatever it is that's going to push you to keep going, especially in those hard times. Number 3, affirmations bring results. And this is where those self-limitations truly help. Here's the cat again. He likes to be where I'm at all times. You want to say hi? Say hi, Ryder. Okay, get down, bud. So affirmations, saying self-affirmations is going to be huge. Changing those self-limiting beliefs of I'm not good enough to say I am more than good enough, or I have what it takes. People want my knowledge, or changing those self-limiting beliefs into positive affirmations. One of the apps that I use for affirmations is called the Think Up app. It's THINKUP. You can record yourself saying your affirmations, and then you can play it back to yourself with like some very light music. It's very, very calming, and you hear yourself repeating it to yourself. So it's just a good way to positively affirm yourself. So it's one way that you can just affirm yourself. It's just a great way. Number 4, number 4, we tell our brains what to look out for. I think of this as like our sixth sense, and I say that women are like like I just personally think women are just really good at this. We just have that sixth sense, and our brains are just equipped with that internal feeling. And whether you say it's the universe telling us this, or whether you just say it's God and the Holy Spirit that's just telling what's good and what's not, you believe honestly what you want to believe. But I just think that that's one of those things where I really have a hard time with that. But yes, we just tell our brains what to look out for, or our brain, I feel like more or less our brains tell us, or our sixth sense, or the Holy Spirit, or the universe, whatever you want to believe. And number 5, negativity steals our power. That one is so powerful, and I truly believe that one. The negativity, how many times have you been in a situation, maybe at work or in a friend group, or even in a family situation, where it's just sour, negative, and it just steals your joy, it steals your happiness, and everything from there just really goes downhill, and it just seems like the whole day after that is just full of situations or negativity, and you're just like, what happened to today? So yes, I'm a firm believer that our negativity just steals everything from us, our energy, our positivity, just everything. And so I just think we have to be very careful. I just dropped my stick all over my white shirt, my brown. That's not good. I'll have to get that cleaned up. No bueno. Oh, okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So yes, and the negative self-talk that we tell ourselves, that's another like huge thing. Getting out of our own heads and stop sabotaging ourselves and stopping the self-negative talk. When we catch ourselves talking negatively to ourselves, we have to really change that talk and go a different route. I always think of the quote, and I'm probably going to say it wrong, but talk to yourself or love yourself the way you would want others to talk to you, or how you would talk to others. Because if you're not talking to yourself the way that you would want others to speak to you, how are others going to respect you or love you the way that they should? And so I just, that just rings true and rings very, that just rings very true to me. So just think about that. How do you want others to love you and to respect you? Because that's how you should be talking to yourself. And then also just setting an example for the little eyes that may be watching you. So that's just another thing to think about. And number 6, other mindsets influence our own. And I think that really goes with the last one too. So if you surround yourself with negativity, it's just gonna affect you even more. So if if your work environment is continuously negative, if your friend circle is continuously negative, if your home life is continuously negative, that's just how your life's going to continue to grow. You want to surround yourself with people who are where you aspire to be. So if you have mentors who are positive and happy and in positions that you want to be in, that's the people that you want to surround yourself with and keep yourself around. Talking and doing this at the same time makes me forget. Sorry, it's so bad. So that will be helpful. And now I just want way too much. Whoa. Take that down. So yes, surround yourself with positive people in positions that you want to be in. Who did your makeup today, lady? That is way too much. Okay, we'll just have to fix that later. So those were the 6 things to help with our mindsets. And really, the big thing for today is taking time and writing down the biggest things that are holding you back, writing down limiting beliefs or journaling them, and taking the time and really thinking about it and figuring out what are the things that are holding you back. And the thing that I had mentioned last week is with our mindsets and limiting beliefs, these are things that could be something that may have affected you in childhood. So it might have been something that had happened to you as a child. So it's really digging deep and finding out what it is that's holding you back. So that is, an exercise that I do recommend doing, journaling it or just writing it down on a scrap piece of paper, but just taking time and really thinking. And then the second exercise that I do recommend doing is thinking about it or breaking it down even more, because just because you can think of these, simple things that might be, limiting beliefs for you, but break it down into categories. So is there something about money that's holding you back? Do you have a limiting belief? Maybe it was something like how you grew up. Did your parents, claim bankruptcy as a child, and it limits your beliefs as how you should spend money now as an adult? Or did you grow up wealthy and it still limits your child, like how you should spend money as an adult? You know, think of your self-worth, your self-image, your intelligence, your time, ability, your health, family, leadership, running your business, running your household. So all these things can play a role in your self-limiting beliefs. So, you know, think about these things and write these things down, and write down what your thought is or what your limiting belief is, and then write down a new belief, what you should be telling yourself instead. So I recommend doing those 2 exercises to change your limiting beliefs. And if you don't have a limiting belief on any certain category, then you don't necessarily have to write down an old belief and new belief. But if you do, then definitely let's work on changing those beliefs. So that was all I had for you guys today. Those were the big takeaways. I gotta fix this eye look because that is quite dark there. But yeah, that is all I had for you guys today. And I do have a workbook that does go with this that I am just finishing up, and it's gonna go with all 4 of these discussions. So once we finish up these discussions, I will have that workbook available. It's just not quite ready since we've not finished all these discussions. So once we get that done, I will have that available. So at the end of this kind of this discussion. So yeah, I'll have that available. So I hope that was helpful with self-limiting beliefs, but we'll talk more next week. Next week will be manifesting or mastering our manifestations. So I hope you'll join us next week. So until then, I hope you guys find beauty in the chaos and joy in the moments. Bye.